Hello. Yeah, I'd like to apologise for the lack of videos over the last few weeks. I do have very valid reasons why I haven't uploaded anything. First of all, I did actually make some videos, but they were over 15 minutes long, and so I required verification from YouTube. That was a problem to get because I have awful signal in my halls, so by the time that I got the text through, the verification code was not valid. Also, may I also apologise if I'm speaking extra nasally today. I've got a bit of a like blocked nose, I guess. I know, I just sound pretty rough. Which brings me on to the other reason why I haven't uploaded anything. A couple of weeks ago, I had a really bad cold, which sounds really pathetic, but for some reason, when I get colds, they're like fevers. They're like really virusy, and it's pretty grim. Just bedbound for like a week or two. Uh, then after that, I had a relapse of my drinking. I know, by the way, this is a very positive vlog. I'm sure you're all really excited to hear about this. Uh, no, I had a relapse of my drinking. I ended up drinking far too much, and I was throwing up blood, and I was ill for a good few days. So that was another thing. And then to top that off, my anxiety has somehow got worse. I've stayed sober since that incident, but my anxiety has got 10 times worse. I don't think I've had this much like anxiety since like a couple of years ago. Uh, my anxiety was really bad. I think probably because I stopped drinking. I've had all these emotions come flooding back. I can't quite distinguish what I've actually been feeling, but it's been awful. And the other day, I had like a massive anxiety attack on the bus, and I know it was bad because I haven't done this in a good couple of years, but like scratched all my hands and they're starting to heal now. But there was just blood everywhere, and yeah, it was pretty grim. Then like I've been feeling really suicidal, not in the sense of I want to kill myself, which is probably quite hard to explain because when you think of suicidal, you think, oh, that person is really unhappy, they really don't want to live. Oh no, I want to live. I'm very content with my life. I have great family, great friends. Just, I love life in general, and I'm quite a positive person. And I was suicidal a few years ago. I know the difference. A few years ago, I was in despair. I didn't want to live. Uh, I'd given up all hope. I was pretty desperate. I was just generally low. But no, I think this kind of like suicidal stems from my anxiety. Uh, I've always thought that I've been a bit OCD. Uh, and I haven't been officially diagnosed, but my report it says I have OCD tendencies, but I guess it's not as severe to classify it as OCD fully. And I'm not dramatising things. I'm not like one of these people who I know likes to clean and is like, oh my god, I'm so OCD. And you're like, no, you're not. This is a serious mental illness. It really affects people so badly. It's not a matter of, oh yeah, I really want to clean that window or whatever. No, just stop. Um, yeah, I get a lot of intrusive thoughts, a lot of compulsions, but I just don't seem to get much of the obsession side of it, I guess. I don't have like a routine that I go through, I suppose, but all mental illnesses are different, I guess. But my intrusive thoughts are pretty bad. I think that's what has caused these suicidal tendencies. Like for example, this is probably like a really quite mild intrusive thought for me. I was walking by the lake. Suddenly, I saw myself drowning in the lake. I had this urge to just throw myself in the lake. Uh, that's pretty mild for me. Usually it's stuff like slit my throat or hanging myself, or it's just really scary. Uh, it's really scary. It's hard to deal with, I guess. Uh, I seem to enter this different state of mind for some reason. I have no control over it. I have to use all of my willpower to stop myself from acting on these things. Uh, but yeah, so that's been worse, but over the last few days it's got a lot better. So I'm quite positive about that. I'm quite positive about changing my life and turning it around, getting organised, trying to tick off as many things as possible so I don't worry as much. So yeah, uh, I'll be okay. So don't worry. But it's so interesting how a lot of people with Asperger's have to not just deal with Asperger's itself, but have to deal with mental illnesses that often come along with Asperger's. A lot of people with Asperger's have social anxiety, anxiety in general, depression, OCD, like bipolar, multiple personality disorder. The list just goes on. I don't think a lot of people realise how much like these things can affect someone with Asperger's. So yeah, um, but I keep them positive. I'm determined to succeed in life. I think that's important. It doesn't matter what I'm going through now or what I've been through. All that matters is that I get over it. Uh, I know what it's like to be happy. I know things do get better. I know that sounds like such a cliche, because like I always remember when like I was really in my like bad state. People always like, it will get better. It's not the end of the world, even though it feels like the end of the world, and the situation that you're in is awful. And I totally get if someone doesn't want to live when they're going through that sort of stuff. But that doesn't even matter. What matters is things change all the time. You've just got to try and accept the change, and things do get better. Because when you hit rock bottom, there's nowhere else you can go. Like, what is the worst that could happen? I think that's important to remember. And even though my life wasn't perfect, I've came a long way from who I was a few years ago, and I'm going to continue to progress and succeed. I'm going to do something with my life. I'm not going to be another statistic. I I want to live my life independently. I don't want to rely on anyone else, and I don't want to let my mental illnesses or Asperger's stop me from reaching my potential and stop me from being the person that I want to be. Because you are not your label. You're given these labels and at a point in your life you'll think that you are what you're labelled as. You'll think that you are Aspergers, or that you are like anxiety or depression, but you're not. You are you. You're just dealing with this. That is not you. Obviously it affects you, and often dictates to a lot of your life, but it's not you. It's not the person you are. So that was my little speech of the day. Sorry for going off on one. Yeah, I will be uploading a video soon on what is Asperger's, which I'm sure many people have done. However, I feel like I could put a little spin on it, sort of jazz it up a little bit. So yeah, that's all I have to say really. Oh yeah, and thank you ever so much for the new subscribers and all the likes and all the lovely comments. It's made me feel like, yeah, this is a good thing to do. Vlogging is good. Maybe people can relate to me in some way, or I don't know. It'd just be nice to, I guess, reach people out there. Yeah. So yeah, thank you. Ciao for now.